But maybe it's more of I like the idea more than actually doing it.
I will do bit once.
Yeah guys, I'm back in my blue coat for now. It's meant to be. I had a bunch of clothes that I was going to donate and I thought it's time to retire this. And then what happened was it was too full. The bank couldn't take any more, so I started taking out my jeans and my coat. I lost my black coat and it was really cold. And then I remembered I've got this coat in my boot. So, I mean, like, of course I hope I find my black coat. But I'm really thankful, like, this was there. This coat knew I would need it. But yeah, I'm on my way to grab some bits and bobs for Isaac and Ayla. Ayla needs some plain black stretchy bottoms to wear with the rest of her uniform. Isaac needs to get like a plastic box. Ayla is starting nursery, and nursery is when, you know, the kids get to go in a learning, playful environment for about 2.5 hours a day, and I thought that's great because Ayla has been stuck to me. And I think with lockdown, she doesn't really know how to play with other people aside from her brother. So I thought nursery would be great, and it also free up 2 hours a day for me. It was only last week I realized that she actually got an afternoon slot instead of a morning, and I was freaking out because it meant dropping Isaac off at 9 a.m. and then dropping Ayla off at 12:30 and then picking Isaac up at 2 and then picking Ayla up at 3. I understand when it comes to like multiple kids, it's just one of those things, but it would have been really easier if she also had a morning slot. I would have really had a solid 2 hours so I can start like drawing again. It means I can actually start doing something. I don't get to open my laptop until they're shipped off. So in my son's P3 group, asking the mummies if they could give me some guidance on what I can do, and I was calling the education board. I tried to call different nurseries. They were giving me different options that could help ease the load a bit. And then later on that day, one of Isaac's school friends, his mummy, messaged me. She told me that her little boy is also going to be starting nursery and that she did not mind swapping her morning slot with my afternoon slot because she says she lives close to the school and it doesn't affect her very much. And in that moment, that gesture alone just meant so much, and I was like, that is too much to ask. Like, are you sure? She spent a long time trying to reassure me that it's okay because I knew I couldn't do it if I was going to make her life harder. We're all sorted now, so Hannah, thank you so much. And all Hannah really wanted to do was make life easier for another mum, and that touches my heart so much. Yeah. Boop. Din, 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 din. So good to be back. Got what I needed and just gonna relax.
Evidence would be greater.
I whipped out my paints and my brushes. It's been a while since I've painted. Honestly, I don't particularly feel the urge or the inspiration to paint, but I figured instead of spending the evening watching TV, which is fine, but for a change, I'll pick up my paintbrushes and see if it takes me anywhere and where it could take me. What actually, oh, hang on. I'm back, sorry. I was answering a video call from Isaac. He's having the best time ever, and it's so good to see him have a good time with his cousins, and you know, just happened to get a bit emotional. Bittersweet feeling seeing how much bigger his cousins are now, and it feels like I've missed a lot, but they seem happy and healthy. Anyways, they're having a great time. I miss them a lot, and I'll see them in 2 days. What made me want to even think about painting is really because there's a place I really want to go. It's a place that RG took me, and I just remember feeling so free, staring out at the ocean and just feeling the wind And the breeze on my hair, it almost felt like it was washing my hair. It was just so refreshing. I want to be there, I'm not there, so I'm gonna paint it instead. Well, yeah, this is the place. And would you believe in Northern Ireland we can have waters as vibrant as that? A lot of my brushes are ruined when I tried to use oil and I didn't clean the oil properly. Like, this is not the right brush for sure, but it's the only soft bristle one, which is what I need for the sky. The brushes are creating some streaks. I think it really does it makes sense that you get good tools, I guess. I suppose if you're a good painter anyway, it doesn't matter if you don't have the best tools. Got this like really cheap paint from like the works, so it's just really runny, so it's just not opaque enough either. It was a bit too late to paint last night. My tools aren't great, but I think it's more rusty. I'm not the happiest with this, but I'm gonna keep going. You can see there's streaks because my brushes are just so hard that it's not giving like a smooth finish. But I'm gonna keep going. Making myself a hearty brunch today. Annie just called, and so I'm actually gonna go out and have brunch with my bestie. Although I just had a massive breakfast, so I think I'm just gonna get tea. I'm gonna actually use the opportunity to go out and grab some paints. But yeah, this is what we have so far. So I am back. It was so lovely seeing my best friend and trying out this new cafe. I need to go to a proper arts and crafts store to get my supplies, but I managed to find this for the time being, and a proper tray to use instead of like my little plastic lid. So yeah, I've got my colors squirted out on a little tray. Process so far, I just need to do the grass and excuse me, fix the cliffs and add a bit more detail to the water by adding the waves and the shadows. This has actually been a very enjoyable experience. I did not necessarily feel like painting, and yet I'm so glad that I did. So this is Ballintoy, and it's one of my favorite places in Northern Ireland / Earth. I brought this in the tub to read, and then I thought, you know what, this is my time off. I'm gonna watch TV while sorting out clothes. Comforting porridge. I say comforting even though I'm pretty sure I'm lactose intolerant. Oh, but this is comforting. I bought a new bin. You know, for bins, you wanna splash for a bin, and then when your bin gets worn out, you need a new one, and you're like, And for some reason, bins are really expensive. So I saw it in the supermarket for quite a good size, quite a good price. So I treated myself to a new bin today. Treat yourself. So why I wanted to paint this place was I felt like for the past 2 years, I've barely been keeping my head above water. And when I stood up here so high at the top of the cliffs, looking down at the water, I just felt it was kind of like a metaphor, like a symbolic metaphor, where I was looking down at my progress. More difficult the journey oftentimes, the more beautiful the view. My first time painting landscape with cliffs, and I really enjoyed it. Sometimes you guys are really kind and you say, Bubs, you should sell your art, but like I don't let myself believe that. I have this urge to do paintings, and then I never frame them up and they just stay hidden away. It's even like making painting tutorials. Sometimes you guys ask me to share them, and honestly, I don't have a technique. I kind of just wing it. I end up just completely removing and changing and making the past hour before completely useless. I think it's just nice to know your art is hanging in someone's home. I always have this dream, you know, in the notebook. Noah has this art studio for Ali to paint all day long, and It sounds like such a nice dream, like when I'm a little bit older. Or why do I have to wait till I'm older? I don't know. But, you know, to paint art as a living. But maybe it's more of I like the idea more than actually doing it, like most people do. And of course, you guys know how often I start something and then I stop. Damn, being a Sagittarius. Obviously, it wouldn't be like a big money venture. It would just be something that would make my heart happy. Maybe I can paint something every so often and put it up, and maybe someone wants to find a home for it. If you guys ever get a chance to visit Northern Ireland, definitely visit the Ballintoy coast.